Now, first things first, I mean, last week, investors' wealth appreciated by 157 billion naira in 3 trading days. Certainly, last week was a good day for Nigeria's stock exchange. What was your take on the week's performance?
It was great. We saw a rally year to date. The Nigerian Stock Exchange Index has done close to 19%. We saw it driven by the banking index and the consumer goods index. Everyone's focused on the tier 1 banks, which are the Zenith banks and the UBAs. But my future pick for this market is the tier 2 banks. You know, you look at the diamonds and the skies of this world, and you know, you look at a diamond bank and the investors might be exiting sometime this year or next year. You see some sort of a rally. You know, the key for them is their optimization procedures, optimizing the cost to income ratios and their various ratios. And now let's flip into what consumer goods. There's a huge market in that sector. There are a lot of joint ventures, there are a lot of foreign companies targeted at Nigerian investments. And so let's forget about profit taking and let's forget about that. Just from an acquisitions perspective and from a, from a transactional perspective, a lot of the South African firms are actually, looking very deeply at our consumer goods businesses and looking at how they're going to come in and make transactions happen. And we've been talking to them on a firm perspective on how we can help that happen. So we definitely know there's going to be more rallying coming up in this industry.
Now tell me if I'm right or wrong, a lot of our consumer good companies are multinationals, and there's been talk about the fact that some of those valuations may be stretched. What's your take on that?
Not all of them are stretched, some of them are actually undervalued. When you look at them from a sum of the parts analysis for a lot of the group businesses, you'll see that if you separate those individual businesses, they're definitely worth a lot more than people can see in them. That the group structure definitely hides some value when you look at these companies. So, not a lot of these businesses are stretched.
Very quickly, you did mention Skybank as one of the stocks that people, should look at in the banking sector. But I mean, that's been one of the laggards.
Yes, I know. It comes down to optimizing their performance. The cost to income ratio has not been great for Skybank. The costs are definitely too high. But from talking to management and talking to people that know about Skybank, you can see that the firm is actually positioning itself to make some good things happen in the near future.
Right.
So, yeah.
Right, okay. Now, one stock, of course, that has stood out is Flour Mills. I mean, I personally felt like that stock, maybe investors weren't going for a good stock. That's what I thought, because, I mean, we've seen them come out. They announced that their plans to buy raw oil mills. They actually bought Thai Farm. And, of course, we're hearing that they're re-merging with Bag Company, which used to be one of their subsidiaries. Also, it's pretty good full-year results came out of Flour Mills. What's your take on that stock? I mean, we're seeing it hitting a 19-week high now.
Yeah, Flour Mills is a good stock. When you look at it, when you do a discounted cash flow analysis and look at it from a perpetuity perspective, you might not get the greatest valuations, but when you look at it from a multiple standpoint, which is enterprise value to EBITDA, you get some great numbers. You see the full potential that Flour Mills has, and you see their focus on cost optimization, because you look at the backward integration when it comes to Thai farms, when it comes to raw oil mills, and then you look at the focus they have in just consolidating things like Bako back into the main business and just trying to streamline those operations. And you have to give management kudos. You have to look at them on a comparable basis to other flour conglomerates like a Honeywell, like the Dangote Group. When you focus on it and you look at the company like that, you get very excited about the future for Flour Mills, and we should expect a lot more acquisitions, because I think management is focused on making key acquisitions that can help grow the business.
Now, very quickly, your outlook for next week, for this week actually.
My outlook for this this week is positive.
Yes.
We can see the rallies going on. It's a bull market right now, and we're all very excited, and it's definitely very positive. We see good things happening this week.
Okay, very quickly, I mean, the news coming out of our telecom sector right now is the fact that in the north they've had some destruction of equipment, and now they're threatening to leave the northern part of Nigeria. Can we get a bit of an update on this issue?
Yeah, you know, the terrorist activities that are happening in the north are definitely not only affecting telcos, but all different businesses. And, you know, it's just going to come down to the government focusing on the security situation there. You know, the telcos pulling out of the north, that will definitely affect revs. You know, you can see it already affecting consumer goods businesses in the north, affecting production on that phase. And so when it comes to estimates for the telcos, this is definitely going to affect them. I'm still going to have to throw this in. The telcos need to be more focused in joining our capital markets, just to say that, you know, right now we've seen all these rallying without PFAs being involved in the capital markets, without the telcos being involved in the capital markets. And, you know, if they come in, we will see a great push in our capital markets going forward. The sky's the limit for this market.
And also, very quickly, I just want to throw in again, MPC is coming up actually very soon. What are your expectations?
It's going to stay flat as it's been staying.
You think?
Yeah, I definitely
You think they're going to maintain it at the same rates? No surprises this time?
No surprises.
Okay, well, thank you so much for joining.